Hello there, welcome back to another 4th Triumph video with Ungainly Titan, and we're just continuing on more or less from where we left the last time. I brought in the second party, the first enemy parties have appeared. Now, I'm going to include most of the fights, but not necessarily everything. I'm probably going to start editing out trivial fights. Now this one's a fairly trivial fight, but it's going to be short, so we're going to leave it in. But as the game progresses, there are an increasing number of trivial fights. Now, in this particular run through, I actually did leave characters die. Not all the time. There's one particular case where I don't do it. But I do it on a few occasions. This fight is particularly trivial because there are more party members than there are enemy units, and they're only creature level enemies. And the thing is that I just get everybody, well, I don't get everybody stunned at the start because I think I can't quite reach everyone. However, or I get one of them killed. My party is low level as well. They don't actually have a lot of experience, so they don't quite reach as far as there. And we are just going to set everything up. Put this guy into Overwatch, and yeah, so the peasant can't be reached. But when the peasant goes out, he triggers Overwatch and dies. Because that's the nature of the situation. The cleric runs away. The footman comes forward, and we kick the footman and stun him again, so that takes him out of the fight. Push forward, get him into a zone of control. And now I want to sort of do as much harm to the cleric as we can do, because he's the only unit that we... I don't think there's any way of stunning him. So he will get to act in his turn if he's still alive, if we don't manage to kill him first. So I'm just putting the savage down there. Again, the savage isn't able to actually achieve an attack, but can move. And the thing is, the move will trigger each square moved will trigger an attack from the electricity. And also the opportunity attack of the paladin, so that's him out of action. Overwatch, the footman doesn't move because it would trigger both the Overwatch and an opportunity attack. And I just attack on my turn. So, like I said, a fairly trivial fight. Get a decent amount of renown for it because it's quite easy to do these fights to get a high level result, like an A+ or an A. So you tend to get good renown from them, but I probably start dropping them. However, most of the encounters, the vast majority of encounters for the remainder of the game are going to be encounters with enemy parties. This is going to be party intense. Starting this video, and later installments will probably be even more intense until such time as I eventually find the enemy's home base. That's probably too tough a fight to take on. The border fight itself is difficult enough. We pick up the free stuff, and this fight is not as tough as the border fight. Because the those skeleton air blasters are deadly. More so than a lot of other things in the game. So we're nicely set up here. There's a lot of enemies, and there's a lot of really powerful enemies, but one of the advantages is the better ones are further away. So we get a stun here at the start, and we've nicely set up so that we can get a stun in the other direction more or less straight away. So we have footman champion stunned. We have 2 more champions and a priest remaining. So we're going to get the tree will fall in the right direction, and it's a 97% chance. We're going to get another stun there to minimize the response. New combat abilities. Now, one of the things that I probably observed in this game, just watching the playthroughs, is, although I don't think I'm doing it here, I think any of those powers are worth taking, but there is something to be said for actually not taking powers in the first. Sometimes it's actually leveling up, going tall rather than wide. And that is since the selection of powers are kind of randomly generated, that it is possible I would be offered better ones in a subsequent level up, given that there is still going to be a free slot available, a slot available in width, so that I can take a new power each time I level up, even if I go wide in the particular one that I'm doing. I'm just having a cup of coffee here while I'm videoing this as well. The thing here is to try and minimize the activity. Tactical choice wise, I actually think some of these ones that I made, they were unsafe, is the thing. I would have better off kicking the champion with the paladin, because now I'm forced to sort of basically gang up on that champion so as to get the opportunity attack. And ultimately, I'm going to have to make an attack with the wizard in order to finish off the champion, so that before the champion does any significant harm. Now the footman isn't, so I'm not sure if that's what I did there was optimal, basically is what I'm saying, I suppose. The ranger's no choice but to run away. He just doesn't have the hit points to hang around or risk getting shot at or attacked in any fashion by the two enemy creatures up there. So priest comes forward, but he actually heals the other champion, and the other champion comes forward and clatters my paladin. And this one does a prepared, which I think doubles their damage in the next round or something like that. Pretty rough stuff. Yeah, we're kind of well set up here, I suppose. We can go with the upgrade and move it across. So we're going to trigger an opportunity attack from the savage. However, the savage now has to move in its turn. So what it is, I think I need to deal with that champion, to be honest with you. So what I'm doing obviously is I'm expecting to be damaged. So we're going to kick that champion, and then we're going to move up. Now I should have actually gone on top of the log or gone beside the footman. But for some reason or other, I forgot that log was. I'm not in the zone of control, because I should be in the zone of control of the footman, really. We go into Overwatch. We go into Overwatch there, and we upgrade our savage. Fire blast. Footman moves. Overwatch takes care of him, and champion pulls forward and takes some damage from the Overwatch. And 12 hit points. That's a fair kicking. Fortunately, I get 8 of them back, so I'm only down 4. And the savage is going to be in the zone of control, so or the champion is going to be in the zone of control. So we're going to take a Overwatch from the cleric. Now I make the mistake here. I just literally forgot that that tree stump is not kickable. Or well, I can kick it, but it won't move. It won't cause a stunning attack. It's not going to shift. So I shouldn't have moved there. I should have moved onto it so that I could actually get. Although then I wouldn't get a stunning attack. So I might finish him up to do what I would do, because there's no way the champion would slide back far enough to get a stun there. So we'd probably finish him up to do something like what we had to do anyway. And that leaves me with the champion to deal with. So I need to get up to the champion, so that when the champion runs away, because that's kind of the way they're programmed to work tactically, they run away and go into Overwatch. But I'm close enough to reach it in a single round, make an attack at the end of the round. Otherwise, you have to chase it down. And it's a fairly mobile unit, and it can be quite painful at times. So we put people into Overwatch. Hopefully, he doesn't go for the bow, the ranger, and hit. Ranger manages to get the an Overwatch attack in, and we win the fight. Because we made a bit of a meal of it, we only got a C out of that fight, so we don't get as much renown as we did out of the other ones. That's actually a useful magic item. And we have more level ups to do, and I like the electrocute one. Yeah, I don't know. There is something to be said for taking the smoke bomb as well. Although you fight sort of hero parties so much now that I'm not sure about the smoke bomb. The heroes have so many mitigating skills that I don't know if it's as powerful as it was, earlier on. So now we just move forward. Everybody's moved. We have an enemy party heading for the Bitcoin farm, and I need to sort of stay in range to defend my cities, and we're close enough to get patience, and patience is definitely worth getting because now my Overwatch Embrace is reduced to 1 action point per turn, which means that I can use extra action points for other stuff, and that's pretty powerful. It allows you to use Brace and Overwatch more often. Which means, of course, that it's overall going to be more effective. And we're now going to sort of pick up a few more nice handy bits and pieces near the other city. That's still probably too tough a fight in defense. I think even the border fight is a pretty tough fight. So another round. Well, we've got one more movement left to do, and I think we'll go for the border fight here. Now the Gaggless Skeleton Air Blast just will be a problem, because they get this persistent Overwatch effect, which is very powerful, and they actually do quite a lot of damage, and they have reasonable amount of hit points as well. Right, so I will put it on the Paladin, have him braced so that I can advance. And we just do some damage to the Air Blaster. Now, what we need to do here is to see if we can maximize the amount of stunning and damage that we can get into early. Skeleton weaklings are not too bad. You can use the Fire Blast to get everybody in the zone of control, including one of the skeleton archers, but he's still a fairly tough character, and I have another movement. Now, I wasn't, I think, too sure what to do here. I could have also gone for a brace, which might have been another viable option. I could even have gone for using the crystal, the healing power of the crystal, because that would have robbed points out of one of the other the enemy creatures. Now, that's nice to get that hit on that skeleton archer, but I think I actually made a mistake with the ranger. I should not have moved the ranger. I should have bumped the two skeletons that are burning together to get a stun effect on both, which would have saved me a considerable amount of hit points. As it turned out, the damage done to the Skeleton Air Blaster was incidental, because that would have been done anyway. It's more the I didn't get him stunned is a problem. He had a little bit too much motion to travel through, didn't get stunned, and the other one was a surefire stun, and is the one I should have gone for. So we're after going to lose the archer. Now I have the decision to make: do I want to accept the loss of the archer? So I decided to go with it. I think at that moment in time. What's going on here? We have damage to my savage. And this guy's gone into the building. And it still does more damage. Now, what's going on here? These three are lined up just so neatly that there's no fight. I've obviously decided to accept the loss of the archer at this point, or the ranger at this point, and actually just kick these three guys going and keep going and see how we get on. And I pushed in here to get into the zone of control of the two archer units. Now, I went for the crystal this time because I thought I'd need the healing. It would finish that guy off and give me hit points back. And I would be able to kill him and I had the other guy in the zone of control. However, things didn't work out the way I expected. Bloodlust is definitely worth taking. It gives you a free action point for every time you kill someone. And it upgrades to a free action point. Well, it's one free action point per turn when you kill someone. But eventually it upgrades at a very high level to one free action point every time you kill someone. Which could turn out to be quite a lot sometimes depending on what it is you're up against. So, we have another skeleton weakling taken out. I actually wasted a power there as well. That was tactically well suboptimal. I could have walked down to that location and kept my teleport power. We miss. The savage is going to take a bit of a savaging, and the trouble is now that the savage has taken damage, the archer is free to walk out of the zone of control, and although I suppose it would have happened anyway, this guy could have done the same thing. And therefore 5 hit points. He probably, even with the skeleton, probably would have done it anyway, yeah. So I'd probably have lost the savage anyway. So now I've decided this is not going to stand. I'm not going to take the loss of 2 heroes in the one battle. So we're going to redo that battle. Now, I actually think, in hindsight, I should have just kicked from where I was. I should have just kicked from where I was. Of course, I wanted to trigger the 2 attacks of opportunity anyway. But I could have not bothered with the brace, just used the bolster and kicked from where I was and then advanced and drew the fire, so to speak. Whereas what I'm going to do is probably less efficient. It gets me... I go to there. Now, I'm not worried about the paladin. The paladin is very well defended at this point. The thing is that I need to make the attacks kind of efficient in the long run, so that was kind of pointless. I could have actually moved them next door and put them in a straight line, and it would have been a more useful thing to do. Let's give this guy an extra move. And I'd have got the archer behind as well. Now, what am I doing here? Alright, so I'm going to try and kick that. The idea was that this guy would go down and slide into the guy behind him, which he did. But I was also hoping the rock would hit the other scarecrow. Which he didn't. He deflected too much. So I didn't get as many guys as I was hoping to get there. And we have more action points remaining, so we want to get into the zone of control of somebody, or trigger a zone of control attack. We've already, I suppose, I didn't really seem to. Again, that was kind of pointless. I need to start learning to check to see do I have existent opportunity attacks before I do start doing silly things like that. And again, I might have been better off using the rock in front of the scarecrow rather than the scarecrow. I don't know if it would have pushed the skeleton back into the skeleton air blaster behind, but it would certainly be neater if that had happened. However, we've managed to get the stun out of the skeleton air blaster, so we've at least one stunned skeleton air blaster early in the game, which is a good thing. It means we can split up their reactions and we can possibly focus fire one of them down in the next turn. Now, I left 2 heroes on the same line, so one of my skeleton air blasters has managed to stun one of my heroes by hitting it twice, off the environmental effects. And fortunately, that attack went to my savage, not to my archer, my ranger. Or things would have been a lot worse. Now, this guy doesn't get to attack because he was stunned. And I'm just left with my hero, and we are under watch. Now, I think this was a pointless use of the slime stick, or the slimy stick, because I don't think it actually benefited me. I wasn't using any environmental effects that we got for sliding. We're going to use the healing gem this time, just use it a little bit earlier and hope we get a better effect out of it. And we need to get the ranger out of there as well, because the ranger has very few hit points. Now, another mistake I've made here is that the savage actually has a healing draft potion, and he could have shared it with the wizard character. The wizard character could then have made the move with a few more hit points and all that sort of stuff. So off we go again. Now, what have I got here? We have a stunned character. Yep. Now, savage moves forward. We're going to use the fire blast. That kills one, and we're going to... We should have used the healing potion on the ranger. We were very fortunate here. And with the final action point for the savage. Skeleton goes down and attacks the paladin. The other skeleton attacks the paladin, and that guy goes for the ranger, but he's so far away. And fortunately, the swordsman goes for the wizard, because I think he would have been able to kill paladin. And this guy's going for cover, but he's got taken more hits from the lightning. And he's down to 2 hit points because of the lightning, and probably would die in the next round anyway. Now, we have one in zone of control. We might as well get rid of him. And do we want to go directly after the other one, or what exactly way do we want to play it? Right, let's go down, kick the rock over. Yeah, heal the wizard. Kick the rock over. That takes out the skeleton archer. It's probably the most dangerous guy left, and it's just the archer now. The archer and the skeleton militia are the 2 most remaining dangerous characters. But I have a new ability. Battle Cry is actually a decent ability, although I don't use it probably as much as I should. Rightio. Well, this fight's nearly reaching the conclusion. We have our wizard has to make a bit of a getaway here because it didn't have an attack option left. That was a really suboptimal choice. 48%. I should have gone for the skeleton swordsman, skeleton militia. And that was nearly as bad. However, that guy's far away and unlikely to hit anybody. 56% chance. We get the skeleton militiaman, which is just as well. Our ranger was sweating bullets there. So we just have the skeleton archer, and we can just reach the tree, but will the tree fall in the right direction? No, is the short answer. The tree will not fall in the right direction, so we use the lift to bring him out into the zone of control. And then we don't actually have anything to do, so now we can use a double action point and the lift on the part of the savage. See if we can get rid of... Oh. We had an attack there. Okay, we're going to use the whirlwind to get him away. And... that does it. Fight over. It's a bit of a struggle there as well, so that was only a C-class victory. And we're back out again into the main world, and now it's just a question of we've cleared our border. There's a nice suit of armour there, it's actually quite useful. Some free stuff. A snake figurine. That's a pretty cheap piece of treasure. And what do we got? We got some money. We need some more heroes. We don't have much in the line of valor at the moment, and we're out of movement. So bad guys appear. It looks like they're willing to go after my party. These guys are coming back. And I have this crowd who could do with more experience. Now, this is actually should be a fairly trivial fight in many respects, but I actually managed to mess it up, which is why I'm showing it. The problem is I think that I probably over-focused a little on the troll and took too much risks with the more fragile units without necessarily having the skills to justify to which they're taking those risks. Now we have stunned the troll. The problem is that these spiderlings are probably the most dangerous weak unit in the game. Every faction has their own weak unit. So the Forest Utopia, the humans, it's the peasants, the goblins, I can't remember what they're called. With the undead, it's the skeleton weaklings, and with the Forest Utopia, it's the spiderlings. But the spiderlings have an ability to paralyze, which pins you in place. And that can prove to be very dangerous, because when you're pinned in place, you lose your tactical flexibility, you can't respond or get out of danger. And my wizard's now pinned in place and has taken some damage. Now they won't do damage every time they hit you, so the melee units can usually survive a round or two of being surrounded by these guys. But the other units can't. Now at the moment it's not looking too bad, in the sense that in principle I should be able to have a little row of these people, and I should be able to do something about it. But however, the only one that can actually kick across that row is the savage, and the savage does the kick, which triggers an attack of opportunity, I think from the exiting spiderling, so he doesn't hit the other three spiderlings, and they don't get stunned, they don't get taken out of the fight, and they're around for the next turn, which is enough to put my wizard in serious jeopardy, because the wizard can't get away. It's pinned in place by the paralysis. Right, so we have the troll. We can move it. We trigger the attack opportunity. We get rid of the troll. So the troll's gotten out of. The two melee characters are not in any great danger, but the wizard can't attack because there's units in melee contact. Now I can move them away, which means that my attack of opportunity will be effective. But otherwise they could just attack from and every time I move it resets my attack of opportunity, which is a bit of a pain. Now I can get rid of this guy, which means the wizard will get the melee attack or the attack of opportunity, and I can get an opportunity attack from the ranger. But now it's the wizard turn, and stuff starts. What's going on? Paladin. Wizard doesn't get the attack of opportunity because I never got rid of that final spiderling. And he's bitten. Wizard is bitten, so it's down to 3 hit points. Paladin or Savage is taken down to 3 hit points as well, but the wizard final spiderling gets a critical on the wizard, and that's the wizard out of the fight. I could, I suppose, restart the fight, but it's a severe enough loss in what should have been a fairly trivial fight, and it was something I could have done without, to be honest. I also make a mistake here because I take on a potion, but I can't get 2 attacks. I don't have actually 2 spiderlings in reach, and the wizard or the and then I kind of waste. Well, I get an opportunity attack here. Nothing more I can do. Might as well brace. Savage kills 1, and I have a boomerang attack, so I can take a shot at, or I will get an upgrade, and the upgrade includes boomerang. And the boomerang will allow me to maybe not kill, but it certainly puts a damage on the last remaining spiderling. Push this guy away so that I can get my archery attack. Nope, but I get my... I didn't get a chance to set Overwatch today. Oh no, I had set Overwatch, so I get the Overwatch attack. There's 3 spiders remaining. Paralyzed, no damage. Damage. But he's going to survive. The third one will not do enough damage to kill the ranger. So I'm okay there. The paladin is clear because it's not being paralyzed. Ranger has a new ability. There's a lot to be said for teleporting as well. However, there's 3 spiderlings nicely lined up. We just kicked them off. We get 2 kills and 1 damage here because we're pinned, so we can't act afterwards. And there's one remaining spiderling, and we can try and shoot it. So it's at long range. We tried shooting it. We can't move, we miss, and we can go into Overwatch. So it moves forward, triggers the Overwatch, and dies. And that is the end of that battle. So that was more expensive than it needed to be. Now it got me 93 renown. It's considered a B-class victory. I know the wizard didn't have much skills or upgrades. And we get a coin chest, and we just do 2 new abilities here. So we go for the slash and dash, which is always a favourite of mine, and we go for the encourage. Being able to transfer action points is really good. And we better run back to reinforce our hero. And we need to buy a replacement wizard. You can also have the option of tier 2 weapons. No, decide not to go for it. End a turn, and it is the enemy's turn again. And the enemy decide to attack our number 1 party. Now it's a 3 versus 4, which is actually quite good. So we need to get every action to generate some kind of useful attack. So we have double hit there on one of the enemy wizards, and that will give us a stunned character. We can generate an extra action point here. Now I could use the battle cry and actually move up, we'll go with this one, and can we kick him back into the, we're going to claw attack? Yeah. 5. I'm not sure if that was the most optimal of moves, although it's not probably the worst. 43%. 66%. No effect, and we can get an attack in here. Should be able to get a second stun out of this one. Much better chance. And we get the opportunity attack as well. Although everybody's still alive, so this ranger is unaffected. He missed though and started to hit his ally instead. Which is okay, it's better than him doing it than me. All of them will have opportunity attacks kicking off, and therefore to trigger the opportunity attacks, I decided to brace my paladin and move him. And incoming 1, incoming 2, and I'll straight out miss. Now, has he got one more action to do, so I decided, could we hit him? Hit anybody? No, nobody's in range. Close, but doesn't quite reach anyone. And close is no good. So we drive up, get that ranger in the zone of control. Savage does not quite make it to either party. There'll be a hex short for either case. So we move the wizard up. Now I screw up here. I thought if I could get up beside this guy that I could use the whirlwind and get him into the water and actually get a stun. But trolls are heavier than normal, so he only pushes 1 square, which is not enough to get him into the water and not enough to get me to get a stunning attack. So I come up to here, and I don't have an archery physics attack. I just have the I don't know what I decided to do there. I think that was a mistake on my part. I think I didn't actually mean to move him. However, we get the kill out of it from the other opportunity attack and the lift. Which is, I suppose, not too bad. That wizard is in serious trouble. That was into Savage. Okay, both of them are on Overwatch, but we can attack directly without having to move, and the attack will cancel the Overwatch. Not dead. Brace, and Savage can't reach the other wizard. Still can't reach the other wizards because my ranger is in the way. So I need to move the ranger out of the way to free up that path. So we're going to go there, and the ranger is going to have to risk the opportunity attack. Should be able to survive. And actually the opportunity attack missed even with an 89% chance. And the ranger might as well take their attack. So we set them on fire and we get as far as there. They have 3 action points. So they make an attack and they kill, and they would have the opportunity to make a fire blast as well. Although a fire blast might have killed my wizard. I might not have wanted to do that. And I missed. And then we run away. As far as I can possibly manage it, so that is a suitable use of the power, I think. Because for some reason that ranger could fire at point blank range, he was able to fire in zone of control. And we try that and we miss. We still have an extra action. Okay. Let's get right up there. Because I'm not going to get an attack, so I might as well go right up there. Nothing I am doing. I was just wondering, was there something causing me to be slower? It looked like I was being slower there, but I'm not too sure exactly what was the cause of it. So I can't move stuff. I can't assign stuff during combat. Only in the world map can you actually assign stuff to inventory. Can't do it during combat, which is a bit of a pity. But I suppose I don't want you swapping things around, cheesing the game by saying swapping an item from player to player to player if it gives you some kind of fixed bonus or something like that. That would be a bit much to do it that way. So we get the ranger up, we get our opportunity attack, pull, triggers, attacks of opportunities, overwatches, all sorts of things, but the ranger is still alive. However, it is now going to go and shoot our ranger and kills it. The fire. So I was going to lose a character anyway. I was going to lose either the wizard or the ranger, it looks like. However, the fight's pretty much over now. There's only one character remaining. They don't have much in the line of health. Put them in an area where the savage can get at them. And the fight will be pretty much over. So we have 3 impulse points. The attack doesn't quite do it, but the fire blast will finish the job. Actually, the bleeding would finish the job anyway, so I didn't need to do the fire blast. I could have done it at the start of the ranger's turn, the troll ranger's turn. And finally, we have did I end the game with movement possibility on Group 1? Looks like I did. That was a bit of a waste. Looks like I prematurely ended the turn there. But anyway, we need to reinforce this party. And I want to reinforce the party with a wizard, so we just move a wizard in. We have guilds, so we're going to buy tactics, which gives us 4 action points at the start of each battle. Which again reinforces the advantage you get from the initiative at the start of the battle. 4 action points can generally get you into contact and can do often quite a bit of damage. Now, which way do we want to go? We want to make that attack. There's 3 of them, so we have a numerical advantage. We might as well get some gear up. Get some healing potions. We don't have a lot. We need extra movement here in order to gain the distance. This is Yak Scuffle Goblins. So, goblins. 3 of them. I wonder what level they're at. And the battlefield reveals itself, and we have, well, they actually seem to be fairly low levels, so it's not too bad. What's the best way to go in here? Let's see. Ranger. Or I could just go with the pot and kick him through the back wall of the hut. So we decided to go in. We make use of the fact that we have an attack. We have 1 thing left, and we just brace. Right, we come down here and we go right up beside the goblin. We have actually got an extraction point here because we used the slash and dash right at the start. Kick it across. We got 1 point left and we throw. Did a bit of damage, not a whole lot, and we now get an opportunity to use more physics, and we use the pull. We bring the 3 down on top of the goblin, and that is a win here. We get an opportunity attack set up and a level up, so we can take the quick attack, which doesn't cost action points and can be very, very useful, especially if you're at very short range. And we have one enemy character remaining, so we can go fairly close. Use 2 action points, and we have a scarecrow that we can knock down on the enemy character, and it doesn't generate another. Doesn't actually cause a stun, but we get the opportunity attack, and it's only got 1 hit point left. It goes for a physics attack on our savage, but because it doesn't hit it a second time, it was now stunning. Paladin is a level up, and we're just going to go hit harder with the hammer. We can reach in one move, so we get a direct attack, and it's only got 1 hit point, so this should be a win. And we have completed this one, and onwards. Rightio. We want to move back to cover the other place because these guys are moving away. Now, this is such 6 peasants against a fairly highly upgraded team, even though it's only 3 people in it. It's actually such an easy fight that I won't bother including it. We win. We get the Ice Wand, which is actually quite a powerful utility. It deals 4 damage and freezes all objects in a line across basically the whole width of the map. And we give it to our most powerful party, so we now move back into the center of the map, and I want to move back down because I have some nice stuff. Do I want to cover? Probably want to get at those treasures. I have a place over there that I want to regain the control of farm, and I also have a whatchamacallit, a reinforcement needed for this particular party. Now I could go into that fight. So it looked like I decided to go and get recontrol of the farm, and I decided to set these guys up to cover the base. And this is as far as I get. But this turns out that fight is way beyond me. That's actually quite an easy fight. And we could go with another reinforcement here if we want to. Although in hindsight, it probably I actually go and build because I want to keep my town. I want to make sure my town is safe. But there's a lot of been said that actually instead of buying the reinforcements here, I should have bought it in the undead town. Because enemies have appeared from one side, enemies have appeared from the other side. And I'm looking at it. I have 2 characters in the undead town. I'm looking at that. They're all 5 skull fights, and I thought that was a bit too much. Again, I'm skipping the battle with the goblins there, and because it's a trivial battle, they never get they actually never get to react. I'm able to go in, stun them from the get-go, and I'm not going to include it because it's a trivial battle. The really interesting stuff happens in a moment. So what I was kind of hoping to happen here was that I'd put my party to one side, I'd level them up, and that the 2 enemy parties would fight each other. But they didn't. What happened was they attacked the town in turn, and then they came out and attacked me in turn. Now, one of the things to note is that if you have guild upgrades in the town, some towns they're not eligible because certain guild upgrades, for instance, require university or university 2. So the blue faction comes into the town. It's a troll faction, and I have there's an outside chance that I'd be able to kill one, And in fact, I think if I picked the right target, I might have. But as it turns out, the easiest one to kill potentially is the wizard. So we come out and we're go for a stun, but I think I'd have been better off if I just went for a straight attack, tried to kill the wizard, and that would have been a better move. Because if I had, I would have gotten 2 action points. Would have got me up to the wizard, and 3 attacks would probably have killed the wizard. As it turns out, I'm trying to do it with 2 attacks, and I didn't get the stun. And I can't reach with the 3rd guy. So it turns out that I can't kill the wizard. And because I can't kill the wizard, I'm just going to die. That doesn't work. I'm stunned. And, well, I'm not stunned here, but I've only got 1 character in action. The wizard's going to run over there. And I think they're actually out of reach. I don't have the movement to actually get over there. This guy's got no reaction, so I'm just going to brace. And 1 action point is not enough to reach. However, the wizard's managing to do it, so effectively I don't get to kill any of the characters. And I'm not going to be too fussed about it, because it was kind of a long shot. I could have replayed the battle, but I think it was a long shot that I'd get to kill one of them anyway, because the chances are the 2 melee characters will be in front. There's my paladin out of the equation, and the savage only got a couple of hit points and minus 8 hit points or whatever. I mean, these guys are high level. But they don't stop there, you see. They go in, they take the city, they take the town off me, and then they come pop back out, and then they attack me. Here he is, back out, and they attack my poor little party. Now, there's only 2 of them, so they leave 1 in the city. No, well, actually they don't. I think there's all 3 of them were up here. But I thought they left 1 in the city, which turns out to be not the case. And I might have played this differently if I thought it wasn't. But anyway, that is the way it is. We just redistribute an action point to the savage so that I can come down here and try and do the maximum amount of damage to somebody as soon as I possibly can manage it. Now, I probably should have clicked slash and dash. Oh no, yeah, no, slash and dash is fine. So we get slash and dash, we get an attack, we get a stun. Thing is, these guys have high levels of immunity, as you can see, and it's kind of hard to do damage to them. So, 32% chance from a free attack. We'll take it, because if it hit, it would make a big difference. The curse attack, again, does something, but not as much as we'd like. We'll boost that, and we'll go into Overwatch, because we can do it with 1 action point, and then we have 1 character remaining. And what do I do? I think this might have been a mistake. I think I'd have been better off actually focusing fire on the guy that was stunned. But this guy's already taken a hit, so 1 more hit gets an extra stun. So I have 2 characters stunned, and I thought this was fine. So this guy comes out, and then a third guy appears. And he goes over to in the direction of my wizard. The thing is, now we've got stun protection. We've got a guy with what do you call it? Overwatch. Now that's more like it. and we can make some use of this, and we can generate an attack of opportunity. And then we can do the same in reverse. We get a critical, and we generate an attack of opportunity in the other direction. And a slow-mo hit from the paladin as well. So that kills this guy outright, which is good. Now, 66% chance, 100% chance, but it's going the wrong way. And I might not get a stun effect. See, what I really want here is a stun effect. And Wizard is too far away from anybody. Okay. I want multiple attacks if I can manage it. Now. We go. He attacks missed. It was actually quite fortunate. We use the fire and we generate an overwatch. And then I come down. Now I don't think I would have gotten a stun effect on this guy anyway, because I only got one attack off of him. I thought I might do more damage to the wizard. The wizard has a whirlwind and, or no, whatever he does, he does massive amount of damage to my poor little wizard. My poor little wizard isn't dead yet. However, things are looking rather grim. So we try and blind him. We've only got a move, so we're gonna go in there, get into the zone of control, push up with the savage, see if we can do some real damage here. We've done some damage, we have some bleeding effects, but we don't have get an opportunity attack from both. Still doesn't do as much damage as you'd think it might. Now, I don't know why I did this. This was a complete waste of time. Now we take the heal, which is what I wanted to do, and we get the shot. Not much of a difference actually in the percentages. Unfortunately, most of my incoming attack is blocked. We have Overwatch, but we don't get the kill. And because what did it hit? However, this is going to kill my poor wizard. This is the second wizard I've replaced. This is the third wizard I've replaced in this team. I'm going through wizards like wildfire. However, the enemy wizard is in its last legs, and the savage isn't in great shape either. So I was thinking long and hard, did I want to redo this fight, or did I want to accept the loss of the wizard? And I thought, this is a fairly high level team, we've just taken it out of action, we'll accept the loss of the wizard. But we'll try and kill the enemy wizard. And we go with the 100%. So that's the enemy wizard down. And we go into Overwatch, and then we just move these people around so that they're not all going to get stunned in the next round. And we brace the savage. Right, so you can't one attack stun everybody. Stun blocked, a level up again, but we think we should be able to kill him this turn. In we go. And hit him with the hammer, and I think that should nearly do it. That's it. Game over. So we've won this fight, but we've lost a party member. We do get a level up though, so we're slightly tougher than we were. The problem is that the enemy there's another enemy faction. So they go and they take the town off of the previous faction, and then they attack me again. So I had 4, I'm now down to 3. And I'm facing more trolls. Okay, more trolls. Okay, all ranged troll units, so not quite as tough as previously. Can we get some stuns off at the start? Okay, kick. A kick, a stun. And on we go. Kick, we don't have a stun, but we have another attack. We're only barely making a dent, that's the unfortunate thing about it. And we go down here. Right. 30% is not much chance, 34%. 60%. And we get the stun effect. So now we have 2 of them stunned. We try that, we miss, doesn't matter. We go into Overwatch and we have 1 more. Oh no, we've no wizard, so we've only got the three actors. Our paladin gets stunned. Guy runs off into the distance. Runs back to where he came from. Overwatch. So I'm gonna cancel this Overwatch by hitting the ranger. Which I do. And I move into contact. And we go to the side. We don't have, well we do I suppose, we have some physics options, but we decided not to. Decided to go with a brace here. Enemy ranger stuns itself as well as stunning my ranger. Wizard misses. Wizard misses. Some post-battle movement. This guy runs away. This is where it gets all tricky like, so I decided, right, we're going to have to kill someone. We really are going to have to kill someone to get the action economy to work in my favour. Savage can't reach, not in one movement. Probably can't reach anybody to attack them. And we need to get attacks in, we need to be doing damage every round. So we make a light attack, blinding light, and then we pass on an action point to the savage. Give the savage 4 action points, which will get me right up to the ranger, and this will get me another attack, which I think should finish the ranger, the troll ranger. Yes, 2. Okay, 1, but it'll die in the bleed out. Put the archer into Overwatch. Troll ranger dies in the bleed out. 2 wizards, take 1 of them with an Overwatch hit. It comes right up to my guy and kills my poor little ranger. Okay, missed from the long range wizard. So we're right up here. Attack. Don't have don't quite have what you call it, but with 2 hit points with slash and dash we can get right up to this guy and hit him again. Still has a lot of hit points left, but you get some bleeding. Ranger paladin takes more damage. Opportunity attack as the wizard leaves. Did cancel the ranger's opportunity attack. Now I don't know why I did the Fire Blast. I think it might have gotten a bit of healing out of it. But, you know, it could have done it where it was and gotten the same healing. It seems to be a suboptimal move on the part of the whatchamacallit, the troll wizard at that time. And that he could have done the Fire Blast while I had a character in its zone of control, like, you know, and actually done some damage. Right, we still have more bleeding. It's down to 1 hit point. It's in the zone of control. It tries to move out of it, takes an opportunity attack, and dies. So I've got 1 guy left, and my paladin is down to 1 hit point. We got a new ability on the... I think Bolster might have been better. So we go with a Thump. And we're going to give the Savage an extra hit point. Bring the Savage down. Can we finish this guy off in 1 round? This is important, because this is going to make a big difference. We can, unfortunately, we can't make an attack. We could have actually made an opportunity attack there. We lose the paladin. We would have lost the paladin anyway, because we'll still have made 2 attacks to get rid of this guy, because he's still bleeding. Dies out the bleeding out round. So he would have survived last round. He would have had the opportunity to kill the paladin, I think. The problem is, Green Faction has enough money to buy another party. And I've only got 1 hero left. So you can see kind of where this is going. Now, the thing is, the enemy doesn't have a tough enemy. And do I screw up? I don't know. We go straight up here. I need to go up here and kill something, to be honest with you. Now, and then I missed. So I kind of screwed up anyway. I should have got an extra kill out of that one. But I didn't. And... yeah, I could have gotten possibly 1 kill, but I still couldn't have won the fight, I don't think. There's no way I could have won that fight. So I decided to accept the loss as it is. So I've just lost the town that I gained. I have lost my 2nd party, and I probably don't actually have enough... I don't have enough space for a full 4-person party with a 2nd party. So I start retreating back towards my town, and I want to add in that extra party member. I was going to go for the recover my Tan has been vanquished, which means they've been wiped out. Green heads off into the distance. It's the start of a new week. I will make it back to my town because I get the movement benefit from the thing, and I'm going to refill my party. And I'm going to head towards the town again because I want to retake that town. And that is pretty much the end of the game. Not completely the end, of course. I will be continuing on from here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.